Black Coffee and Enhle Mbali, they are officially divorced. They were married in community of property, right? And the court decided that Mbali is entitled to half of Black Coffee's wealth. Black Coffee from now on, he's no longer a billionaire, maybe a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, but not a billionaire. Because this is not about a woman getting 50% of a man's wealth. If a woman is making more, they're gonna divide her share. Even if your spouse cheat, whether it's a wife or a husband, even if they cheat, as long as you guys are married in community of property, it doesn't affect the thing when you guys are gonna divorce. It is alleged that Black Coffee, he once forced Mbali to sign a prenup. It's been more than 10 years. We still haven't found Senzo Meyiwa's killer. And some of us, we know who the person is, but the police forced Muzi to testify or to confess that he actually killed Senzo. They even tortured him. So is torturing even legal? I don't feel like it's legal to torture somebody. Even if you are a police officer, you are not allowed to torture somebody so that they can confess to something, whether they did it or not. Even Chicco Twala, allegedly, he said that he's not going to testify because his testimony is not going to help the case with anything. South African police officers, they are so corrupt to a point where that they can take murder weapons from the evidence room to go and commit dirty crimes and then try to pin it on someone who's already been convicted. This is why certain weapons, they are linked to multiple murders. But did you know that the 2010 FIFA World Cup, it was not supposed to be hosted in South Africa? The president of FIFA, he bribed Jack Warner with $10 million. There are many tenders that were issued out in 2010 so that the infrastructure of South Africa can be improved. There's a guy who got a tender just to manufacture vuvuzelas.
We live in a world where the system and capitalism turns a blind eye on its hoi polloi. As we all know that nothing is permanent, I welcome you all to the LungTrey segment where we're gonna talk, share, listen and laugh if it's laughable. So sit back, relax. I'm your host, Trader Devil here. See you soon.
And like I said, I'd like to believe that it's not simply because of popular demand, but it's because we're doing the things that we love, So whenever you love something, man, you just gotta try to do it over and over and over again till it becomes better and better and better. It's like that, man. It's like that. So let's just try to keep it cool. Try not to offend anybody in this segment, but with the topics that you guys gave me, I feel like I'm gonna offend a lot of people, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is a very controversial podcast. By the way, welcome back to the LungTrey segment. Remember, this is the segment where we're going to be talking, listening, sharing, laughing. If it's laughable, niggas. All you all know. You gotta laugh. I mean, that's the whole point. The point is to laugh, baby. You gotta laugh, motherfucker. Jokes on you. Haha. I'm kidding. But yeah, if it's laughable, you gotta laugh, man. Because let's just get into the thing before we can just try to play around. Because time is money, right? And we don't have time. So let's just get into the thing once and for all. There are so many stories that made it to the news, and my team decided to select certain topics that maybe they are very crucial to what we might try to talk about in this segment, right? So, as we all know, or I don't know if all of you guys knows, but it is official that Black Coffee and Mbali, they are finally divorced. So, Black Coffee and Enhle Mbali, they are officially divorced, So, their divorce was finalized somewhere late last week, if I'm not mistaken, and the court decided that Mbali is entitled to half of Black Coffee's wealth, and at the same time, Mbali is gonna get 67,000 rands monthly for a spouse maintenance, just to maintain her lifestyle, get those designer bags, if she's really into designer bags and stuff. And at the same time, she's gonna get 50,000 for child maintenance. So since they got 2 kids, it's gonna be 25 each, And I mean, the public got divided. Some people were saying that, well, you know what, you go, girl, you actually deserve it, or maybe you deserve more, or actually you deserve it all, girl, because and some other people, they were saying, you know what, actually, Black Coffee doesn't deserve this because he worked hard for all these things. That's what the people were saying. They were saying Black Coffee doesn't deserve what he's going through. And then other people were saying that, well, Mbali, you actually deserve it, or even more. You deserve even more, right? But we're gonna try to break down what is community of property, because Black Coffee and Mbali, they were married customarily, so officially or automatically, it makes it look like they were married in community of property, right? So community of property, according to my knowledge and my understanding, it basically means that what is yours is mine, and what is mine is yours. But if we're gonna divorce, the court is going to look at the one who's bringing more money to the table, and then we're gonna divide their money into 50-50. So, and remember, guys, this is not about a woman getting 50% of a man's wealth. If a woman is making more, they're gonna divide her share into 50-50, and then the man is gonna be entitled to the half of that money, So, but in this case scenario, Black Coffee was making more money because, as we all know, that Black Coffee is one of the best DJs in Africa, or even in the world. And at the same time, he was a billionaire, because I want to say he was a billionaire because currently he's no longer a billionaire. So you guys need to remember that Black Coffee from now on, he's no longer a billionaire, maybe a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, but not a billionaire, because Mbali took some of that money, some of those wealth, because being a billionaire is not regarded as the money in your bank account only. It's about the money in your bank account and the assets and the wealth that you bring to the table. So Black Coffee was bringing more. And for those who didn't know, Mbali used to be an actor. I don't know if she's still an actor currently, but once she got married to Black Coffee, she decided to become a stay-home mom. That type of person who's gonna take care of the kids, clean around, cook, and all those stuff. But it's unfortunate that she was only cooking for the kids, because Black Coffee was not always around. This nigga was always ordering takeaways all over across the country and across the world. And maybe that's one of the reasons they are divorcing, because the guy was no longer that invested. Maybe he saw other fish in the sea, and then he tried to become a fisherman, But that's not the point. The point is, with community of property, I find it weird to say community of property, because the court make it look like even the community is entitled to those properties. But we're talking about only two people. or maybe even the children whatsoever, but we're just talking about the two people. So why are they even saying it's community of property, like the guy had his tembu or something like that? Or maybe he did, have his team. But then, because there are some certain rumors and speculations allegedly that Black Coffee got other kids elsewhere, not with Mbali, So maybe that's one of the reason their marriage didn't work out like we expected. Because I feel like maybe even us as the fans or as the audience or the citizens, we feel like just because we like you, we are entitled to the life that you're living, and we are entitled to the decisions that you are making in your life. Meanwhile, we are not entitled for shit. Maybe the only thing we might be entitled to is your music, to judge it, comment here and there, like it if we do, dance, sing along, but we're not entitled to your private life. What's happening inside your house or inside your marriage is none of our business, but it is our business when your affairs are becoming a media thing. When your affairs are now roaming around the streets, well, eventually there's this thing called word of mouth, and there's this saying that you gotta keep your ears to the ground, right? So when your affairs begin to roam around the streets, somehow we still feel like we are entitled to say something, or judge you a certain way. And I don't mind you. And at the same time, I don't mind it. I don't mind it when people are making my business their business, because it was me who couldn't even try to keep my affairs private, right? But never mind that. I don't want to try to make it look like, okay, Vele, Black Coffee, he was a womanizer and stuff like that. This is why his marriage didn't even last. Well, at least the girl is walking out with 600 million. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money, man. Like I'm saying. Other ladies, they were saying, you go, girl, you deserve it. Actually, you deserve more. After all the things that he caused and the pains that he caused, you deserve more. And I've read somewhere that even if your spouse cheats, well, I don't know when I say if your wife cheats, even if your spouse cheat, whether it's a wife or a husband, even if they cheat, as long as you guys are married in community of property, it doesn't affect the thing when you guys are gonna divorce. Because someone might say, oh well, because so and so cheated during our relationships, then I'm not gonna give her anything. Well, as long as you are married in community of property, he or she's gonna get your money. They're gonna get your money. And it is said that once you pay the lobola, you guys are married in community of property, as long as you guys didn't sign the prenup. Apparently here in SA it's called the ANC. I don't know why they just decided to give it some bullshit abbreviation of a certain party that is even fucking corrupt. I don't know why that's the case, but if you decide to pay for lobola without signing the prenup, you guys are automatically married in community of property. Imagine that, huh? It's crazy, right? And, well, I'm here to tell you another thing. There's another rumor that I heard. A little bird once told me that it is alleged that Black Coffee, he once forced Mbali to sign a prenup. And she did. But during their divorce case, the court decided that, you know what, this prenup, it doesn't work because you guys were already customarily married. So automatically you guys were married in community of property. So whatever bullshit that he made you sign, it's not gonna work. So even the lawyers decided to pursue the case because, I mean, we're working with a multi-millionaire right here. So if we're gonna finalize this case, man, we're gonna be elites. You know, I mean, imagine if I'm a lawyer and I'm closing a certain case of a billionaire. Come on, man. That means many clients, they're gonna start coming to me because I really did a great job with helping this lady to get her divorce finalized. Because Black Coffee didn't want to give Mbali half of his shares. But that is why he just ended up making her to sign the prenup, allegedly. But in court, that stand, it didn't work. So, yeah, man, I guess I would say shout out to Enhle Mbali for getting what she deserves, you know. And I might say, because Black Coffee did that to her, allegedly forcing her to sign a prenup, he actually deserves what's coming for him. Actually, she was supposed to take it all. Maybe she was supposed to take it all. But I don't know, I feel like I'm bullshitting. I mean, I still love Black Coffee's music, you know, but maybe he might make more money. But at least the lady's walking away with something that's very valuable, not really valuable, but something that she really deserves. You know, so, and there are these people who are marrying because they want to take your money. And there's this other one person that I know, before they got married, he told his wife that you gotta sign a prenup. And then the wife, not the wife, the lady, because I can't say the wife because they were not officially married, right? So this other guy, he told the lady that she gotta sign the prenup before they gonna get married, and the girl refused. And then okay, wati just for loko nje, and like siyahlukana mina nawe, not for leyo nto nje, not for leyo nto. So I guess maybe it's important for you guys to sign the prenup before you do all this lobola bullshit, because this thing of saying what's mine it's yours and what's yours is mine, this is fucking bullshit, because I take you as you are mine, but next thing you go around and sleep with other men. Now you wanna give a taste of other men to what's mine? Come on, man. Come on, that's some bullshit, you know. That's fucking bullshit. But I don't want to try to make this segment about Black Coffee because we have a lot to tackle, you know. So I want to try to talk about the Senzo Meyiwa trial, you know, because I feel like maybe not. I think it's been over 10 years now, more than 10 years. They haven't even convicted the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, which I find it very crazy because there are so many suspects, and all those suspects, their alibi checks out, especially the five suspects that are going through a trial currently. The two were already convicted for previous murders, and then the other one was paying lobola somewhere, and then the other one, he was not even around. I forgot what the other one was doing. I think 3 were convicted already, and then the other one was paying lobola, and then the other one was I don't know what this other one was doing, but he was nowhere to be found around the crime scene when the crime happened, right? So I don't want to get into the details of why is this trial taking long, but I want to try to talk about this suspect that is currently going on a trial, because the police forced Muzi to testify or to confess that he actually killed Senzo. They even tortured him. So my thing is torturing even legal? I don't feel like it's legal to torture somebody. Even if you are a police officer, you are not allowed to torture somebody so that they can confess to something, whether they did it or not. You are not supposed to take a statement by force. So because they wanted a scapegoat, it looks like there was somebody who was actually on the crime scene, and then something happened, and then they called the other person to make certain calls so that we can find certain scapegoats to pin the murder on them. Like I said, 5 people are being accused for the murder of Senzo, and 3 were already convicted, and 2, the other one was somewhere, and then the other one was paying lobola at KZN. So it's impossible for them to be on the crime scene when that event was happening. I mean, we all know who was on the crime scene. Even the Senzo's girl was on the crime scene. Even Khumalo was there. I think even Mzansi was there, not sure, and other 2 or 3 brewers. But none of those are appearing in court to testify whatsoever. Instead, they went to find some real criminals to pin all this bullshit on them. Like I'm saying, there's a hierarchy somewhere who's making sure that so and so has to be the fall guy. Don't worry about what happened. Don't worry about this and that. And the thing is, I've even realized this. South African police officers, they are so corrupt to a point where that they can take murder weapons from the evidence room to go and commit dirty crimes and then try to pin it on someone who's already been convicted. Imagine that. So, South African officers are doing dirty works for the high-ranking criminals using the weapons that are already in their evidence room. Isn't that fucked up? This is why certain weapons, they are linked to multiple murders, but the person who was originally using the firearm, it's possible to segafil, but because the murder weapon is still in the evidence room, the police officers are taking those murder weapons to go and do some dirty works elsewhere. Ain't that some bullshit? That's bullshit, man. That's corruption at its level highest level. I don't understand it, man. What? Are you not getting paid enough? Or you really are afraid of the actual criminal? Come on, man. This is just wrong, man. And apparently, even Chicco Twala, allegedly, he said that he's not going to testify because his testimony is not going to help the case with anything. This motherfucker has the guts and the balls to say that he's not going to testify. He's not going to give a statement because he's not going to help this trial with anything. But if you can check, or if you can notice, the guy's name has been roaming around the murder trial or around the case, but he's not really involved. It's like he's the one who's calling the shots. Ain't that crazy? I feel like that's crazy, man. That's something else. That is something like, why? Why? The least you can do is to just testify so that you can be cleared, so that your name can be cleared, right? But he's saying, I'm not gonna testify because my testimony is not gonna help the case with anything. First of all, okay, maybe we know that you were not there, but maybe you are the person who actually hired certain people to do certain dirty works. So you are afraid of lying under oath because I think lying under oath is called perjury or something, some fancy word. If you can lie under oath, you can be charged for whatever that word is, perjury or something. So I just find it very hard to believe that it's been more than 10 years. We still haven't found Senzo Meyiwa's killer. And some of us, we know who the person is, but I can't just come out and be like, well, you know what? I know who the person is because they're going to call it a speculations, right? You can't just speculate certain shit. That is just wrong, man. It is so fucking wrong to actually think about it, that it's been more than 10 years. You still haven't found the killer of, man. The corruption in this country and even the system in this country, it doesn't favor anybody. Maybe only women because, well, shout out to Mbali, but the other serious cases is like they're not even taken serious. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. So I don't want to talk about the Senzo Meyiwa trial for the longest time because I said it. I'm not going to talk about what's happening around the Senzo Meyiwa trial. I just wanted to talk about this Muzi guy who was forced and tortured to confess to something he didn't do. Ain't that some bullshit? Hell yeah, that's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. But I want to try to talk about this last topic. Well, I feel like maybe you gotta save the best for last, So, did you know that the 2010 FIFA World Cup, it was not supposed to be hosted in South Africa? I'm telling you, dog, it was not supposed to be hosted in South Africa because we were missing certain votes so that it can actually be hosted in South Africa. But allegedly and apparently, the president of FIFA, he bribed Jack Warner with $10 million for votes and bids so that the World Cup can be hosted in this country. So meaning we were not supposed to have a World Cup in 2010. Never mind Mandela, never mind all those type of bullshit. We were not supposed to get a World Cup here in South Africa. But because Danny Jordaan, he bribed a certain guy in order for it to happen in this country. So now, Danny Jordaan is in the mud because he has to account for that $10 million. He gotta tell the court what happened, where's the money, what did the money do, So, I mean, I'd like to believe that maybe it's a blessing in disguise, He tried to make us a favor as the country, right? But at the same time, it's more than $10 million that we're talking about, right? Yes, maybe he paid the guy $10 million allegedly, but think about all the other tenders that were received or that were implemented during 2010 in order to improve the infrastructures, build stadiums, create build BNBs, all those stuff, right? there's a lot of money that went missing just because of that $10 million that he used to bribe whoever the guy is, Jack Warner, right? So, to me, the way I see it, it's more than about the $10 million. It's about if he actually tells us what he did with the $10 million, there's going to be a lot of files coming out saying that, you know what, even the stadium of so and so and so, it was supposed to actually be like this. It was supposed to actually be structured like this and that. But because niggas were just too hairy and too quick to finish building certain structures, certain infrastructures, creating certain improvements so that when the other countries come to South Africa, they can be like, well, I feel like there's a guy who got a tender to produce vuvuzelas. Imagine that. During 2010, there's a guy who got a tender just to manufacture vuvuzelas. Just because of that $10 million that he used to bribe a certain person so that the World Cup can be here in South Africa. So it's more than about the $10 million. Like I said, or like I'm saying, there are many tenders that were issued out in 2010 so that the infrastructure of South Africa can be improved. Think about that shit. And I mean, maybe what he did, it was nothing new, right? But at the same time, this thing actually reminds me, or this thing actually, it makes me think of something. Did you know that sometimes when you see your favorite team losing all the time, it's because there's somebody who paid a certain money for the team to lose consecutive. Well, I don't want to say Kaizer Chiefs because people are speculating that well, Kaizer Chiefs yadliwa kala malanga, yadliwa. Well, I'm not talking about Kaizer Chiefs, but there are certain teams that receives a certain money just to lose the game. When you see the players, they be like, nigga, don't score. Nigga, just miss. Create some fault injuries. Just like what they are doing in boxing. They can tell you to lose a certain fight. It is happening even in the soccer associations. You see your favorite team always losing. Be like, well, how come this team get beaten by a lousy team? Well, that's because they were paid to throw that match. Ain't that some bullshit? That's bullshit, man, because this thing, it goes beyond. It goes beyond. Even Patrice Motsepe, well, allegedly, man, I don't know, man. Like, there's more to explain, or there's more to dive deeper into this FIFA scandal. It's not about Danny Dojan only. It's about sponsorship deals. There are certain people who are paying certain bribes in order to get a certain sponsorship deal for a certain team. And then, as the public, we think that, the reason this certain sponsor is sponsoring a certain team is because the team has improved. Bullshit. I call that bullshit, man. I call that bullshit. But I don't want to talk about certain stories for the longest time, So apparently, even Vigro Deep, he got engaged. He paid some lobola to this other young girl. And then the public were saying that, well, you better learn from Black Coffee. Let's just hope that you made her sign the prenup. before you do all this bullshit, because it's nice, it's lovely, it's beautiful, but nigga, what? Nigga, what? And at the same time, to me, man, it's not even about if he made her sign the prenup or whatsoever. I was just happy for the guy that, well, I'm glad you found love, especially at a young age, man. I mean, that's all you gotta do, man. Trials and tribulations. You gotta try and error before you find your partner, right? You can't just be like, I'm gonna get married at the age of 40 when everything is all good, set and done, blah, blah, blah. Well, the guy is somewhere around 21, 22, and he got it all covered. So what's there that is missing? It's a lady, man. It is said that a house is not a home without a wife. It is said that a man will never be great without a wife. He will only be successful, but you will never be great without a woman. You know. And another thing, it was said that only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is loved under the condition that he provides something. So if you can provide, man, best believe you're gonna get tons of love. But just be careful so that it don't backfire on your ass. You know, just be careful, man. But I guess it is what it is, right? As a person, you just gotta try to find love. Doesn't matter the age. Age is just a number. So they say. So they say. I feel like sometimes as podcasters, we are fucking hypocrites, you know. Because sometimes whenever we be talking about certain people, certain stuff, gossiping, if we are gossiping, but whenever shit hits the fan or whenever it's about a personal point of view that is related to my life, I'm going to be like, nah, I won't do that shit. I can't do that shit. Fuck out of here, man. But anyways, I've tried to do a normal show today, but I don't know. Let's just see how it goes. I'm sorry if I'm gonna make you guys work even 10 times harder so that you can try to edit this thing so that it can be better and better. But we are improving daily and weekly and monthly and yearly and in centuries and whatsoever, right? But anyways, this is me and this is you. I'm out here, man. God damn. Shit.
Trejo Tebugo from Turf Loop, but currently residing in Brakpan. I'm a scriptwriter and a filmmaker. I've always wanted to study film and TV production, but due to lack of funds, I ended teaching myself how to write scripts, shoot, edit, and direct short films and podcasts. I started a YouTube channel, LungTrey Studio, where I shoot short films and podcasts on my Samsung